So I recently decided to make an entire save file for The Sims 4, and I've been working on it a little bit, mainly just starting with residential lots. And then I got to the point where I needed to start thinking about the community lots that I was going to include, and I realized that I think I need to do a little bit more planning. And so in this video, I have this beautiful map of Willow Creek. This is just like MS Paint. I've just like been drawing on this with like my mouse. That's why my handwriting is so bad. So this is my plan for Willow Creek, and I wanted to kind of go over this and go in game a little bit and kind of show you what I'm thinking. So I did a whole video on the Sims who live in this house here, the Long family. They're one of the only families that I actually have made for this world. It's a residential unit, and we'll pop in game really quick and I'll tell you a bit more. These are the two houses that I've built. They're the only houses that are completely done. I say completely done, furnishing wise, it's completely done, but the families aren't completely done yet. The Sim has a lot more lore I need to set up for him, and then we need to move more Sims over here. So there's two Sims that are gonna live here. It's a lesbian couple. This is the first house that I built. And this is a residential rental. What's important to note about the residential rentals is that you have a cap on the amount that you can have in a save file. It's 100 different units, and so I need to be a little bit conscious of how many rental units I'm using and where. So because this will count for 2 units, we only will have 98 left in the rest of the entire save. If you do it per world, it averages out to about 4.5 units per world. But then there's some worlds that you wouldn't have any in, like Batu is included in this list, and I'm not doing anything with Batu. And then also, like Forgotten Hollow, I probably won't put one in. Same with like Realm of Magic, probably not. But it depends on what I'm feeling when I get there. So that's going to be one of our 2 rental lots in this world. We have these 2 sets of houses, and then I'm also going to have an apartment complex over here, which we'll go over later. For now, I want to hop over to this lot, which is one of the lots that I want you to be able to buy if you were to make a sim and just kind of load into the world. So this build is obviously not done yet. This is actually an older build of mine that I placed down and kind of am trying to revamp. I'm not the biggest fan of the style of like the shotgun single, so if you have any advice on if I should just start over this build or not, let me know. But it is a tiny home residential, which I thought would just be good if you're making a sim and you just want to move into a starter home, that like a tiny home would be a great place to do that because you get all these like perks. I don't know, I feel like that's a good idea. Plus it's like small enough already that it just made sense, but I'm not sure if I like the style of it at all. But yeah, that's kind of the idea for this lot, is that it could be a spot for you to just move a sim into, sim of your own. It'll be vacant in the save, nothing's going on here. I'm gonna furnish it probably very minimally, so it'll be under the 20K mark, which is terrifying. I'm scared. I honestly want to make the house smaller because I'm just that kind of budget. We might need to cut back on landscaping as well. I'm like really nervous about furnishing that. Then there's this house right here. Not a lot going on there. It's mainly just an exterior. Same with this one. Both these houses are gonna have sim families in them, but I haven't exactly figured out those sims or what their stories are or anything. I've literally just done exteriors and floor plan, and that's it. Okay, excuse the fact that I'm sick and I sound like this and blah blah blah. But the blue house, the blue 2 story, I have figured out the family and the kind of the storyline. I haven't made the Sims yet, but I've written down like a bunch of notes. So to quickly go over it, it's going to be the Brown family that lives there. It's going to be Herbert or Birdie. He goes by Birdie Brown. He's going to be a young adult. He's going to be in the same band that the Longs' son, Lori, is going to be a bass player in the band. Maybe a guitarist. I don't know yet. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to have Birdie live with his aunt, which I can't decide if her name is going to be August or Monday. That's kind of inspired by Hobie Brown. I want it to be like a really punk, anti-capitalist kind of sim. And I just went with the last name Brown because Hobie Brown's last name too, and it's a really common last name with a kind of background of characters that I was going for. So I don't know if that's like too heavy-handed of a reference or not. I've been asked like how to create lore, and the answer is that I reference a lot of media, specifically relationship dynamics. I'll look at the relationships between 2 people in a piece of media that I really like, and I'll play that out in The Sims. But then I also like mix it with other stuff, like other media that I like, and a lot of times I also reference real life people. I wrote down that the ant is kind of like this real person I know in real life. So I don't know. That's kind of how I do it. And I think about a lot of this, honestly, when I'm at work. And then I write this down on my lunch break. So I'd spend a lot of time daydreaming. And I did this one a little bit more of like a Victorian style. I'm really proud of this one. I like this one a lot. This lot I currently have Babs living in, but this is also going to be a bit of a family home. This one's a little bit bigger. So even though it's in like this kind of cheaper neighborhood, I think this house might be a little bit expensive. And this lot, I'm not even going to bother to load into. It's just blank, but it's going to be a community lot. I figured since the community garden is in the back, it makes sense for the community lot to be right here. And in my plan, I wrote library/rec center. I don't know, I'm waffling about which lot type makes the most sense here because I feel like a library makes a lot of sense, but they're kind of useless in this game. I don't know. And maybe that's just because like I don't have any good libraries in my game, so maybe if I just make a good library, it'll be awesome. But right now, I'm currently leaning more towards a rec center. There's a little bit more to do there, but I feel like a rec center's architecture probably will fit less in with this neighborhood. So feel free to let me know thoughts on what kind of lot makes the most sense for right here. I want it to be a community lot because I'm trying to pepper in more of those. Then moving up to this neighborhood over here, I'm not gonna load into any of these lots because it just wouldn't even make sense because I worked on furnishing this house, which I did a whole video about. I'll link it. It's not done yet, and also I don't even know if this house is gonna stay there because it doesn't really suit the world to me. These red stars indicate where I want you to be able to move Sims into if you were to just load into the save. So I want there to be a starter home here and then a starter apartment here. But then in this neighborhood, and I'm not really picky about which lot, they're all pretty similar lots, just one of these middle-sized lots, like this one, or this one, I want you to be able to move a family into. If you had made a family, you'll have to cheat money or get like a loan because I'm not gonna make it like a starter home, but I want it to be vacant so that you don't have to kick out any Sims to move there if you want. Then onto this neighborhood here. I'm really excited about this neighborhood. I want to be like a historic, kind of like trendy area that's like been a little bit revamped, maybe more recently. Like it was more of an old historic forgotten about area, and then it's been like recently kind of like hipsterized, and I want that to be a point of like contention in this town, that people are kind of like, some people are kind of mad about this neighborhood and all the trendy stuff opening up over here, and some people like it. This will be a set of like more historic looking apartments, and there will be one vacant apartment that you can move your Sims into. And then there will be a karaoke bar over there. I kind of want it to be like a converted factory of some kind. Like it was this historic building and it was retrofitted to be a karaoke bar. I think that's kind of fun. I was really excited about this historical neighborhood, so I actually have gone in and kind of started building. This is the shell, I guess, of that apartment. I haven't furnished anything in it yet, but it has way more units than I initially anticipated, which I'm kind of concerned about because that would bring the total up to 7 units in just Willow Creek alone. And like I said, we have a cap of 100, so a little worried about that. We have this pink unit, yellow unit. Both these units, the green and the purple, are 2-story units. So you'd enter on this floor and then you'd be able to go upstairs and there'd be more family unit types, and then this like studio unit at the very top. But maybe I can make that into like a common space, like maybe like a gym. I don't know. I'm kind of worried that I have too many units in this one, but it's ridiculous in this game to try and make like townhouses that don't look silly, because if there was only like 1 or 2 of these, it would just look stupid. So I felt like I had to do all 3 to fill up the space on the lot, and then we still had like all this extra space out the back here. But I don't know. I'm pretty proud of this build so far. I might just try and come up with a way to make some more of this like common space. Like this is like all common space right here, but then it's just like this really awkwardly big hallway. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure that part out. But I like the shell of it, so I don't want to alter the shell. And then there's this lot. I barely got started on this while I was like in a feverish sickness, and so I don't think it's that good. I think if anything, I could like move it over to this lot over here and kind of make it a little bit different because I did want this one to be kind of like a factory. Does it make sense for this area? Probably not, but do I think it will look really cool with the brownstone facades on this kind of streetcar street? Yes, so that's why I'm doing it. I don't care that there's weird little New Orleans style mansions around. I don't care. Also, the purple stars is like a lore thing. It's going to indicate buildings owned by a specific sim family. I have the sim family in mind, the Landrys, which the last name translates to powerful landlord. But basically, I just want them to be a newer family in the area who's like doing really well, and then they have a beef with this family over here. These two are going to be owned by those sims. Technically, in game, they can't actually own the karaoke bar because you can't own karaoke bars in this game, but I'm gonna like do my best through lore to drop hints that they own it too. But they are going to own the apartments, so if you move your sim in, you can be a tenant of the Landrys, the powerful landlords. And the lore behind the building that they converted is that it used to be this other family's like factory, and that other family did kind of bad financially and sold this like historic building off, and then they feel completely disrespected that it got turned into just like a funny, silly karaoke bar. And I think I kind of want it to be like a gay bar. I think that would be kind of fun. And then we also have a thrift and bubble tea shop. I thought that was fitting with the theme of like trendy new area, and a cafe. And then getting into the actual main strip, so this will be a strip that's more serious, has been there a little bit longer. We got a pool, a bar, or a nightclub. I'm not sure which. Give your input below. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of the same. Like, I don't know if there's different gameplay in either. I don't know if a nightclub encourages more sims. I'm not sure. Like, I haven't decided fully. I guess I could also do a lounge, but I feel like lounges in this game are stupid. Like, they're just so boring. There's like nothing to do. This lot is interesting. I want this lot right here to be either a rental. So instead of a rental as in like a residential rental, I want it to be a vacation rental. So you can go on vacation and stay in downtown Willow Creek if you want. But I think I want it to be an apartment that sits above a place of business. Looking at my list of lots that I wanted to include in this world, on the list of like less essential lots to include was a restaurant. And so I think I want that to be a restaurant, and then you can kind of in your game go in and you can select if it's a vacation rental or a restaurant, and you can decide what you'd rather have in your game at a given time. It's kind of annoying that we can't have multi-purpose lots in this game, but I figured that it would be easy enough to just build it that way. And then over here, I have written museum. I feel like museums in this game are kind of laughable because they're kind of nothing. It's just kind of what I wrote for right now. I could have it be an art center or maybe like a community space. I think a community space might be a little bit better of a use of the lot, but I feel like I'm going to use community spaces all the time because I just love that lot type. So I was like, maybe I need a museum. And so I put that as a museum, but I just... museums in this game suck. And then this, I feel like the way that the game is set up, this lot can only really be like a park because it's just in its own neighborhood by itself, surrounded by nothing. You can't really do anything other than make it a park. I also wrote wedding church. I feel like you could put like a chapel somewhere on this lot as like a part of the whole park. I don't know. I'm like also kind of stumped what to do with this lot. So if you have ideas for stuff that you would like to see here, I'm not going to do anything complicated. Like, I'm not the type of person to do like amusement parks or water parks or stuff like that. I'm not going to put that stuff in the save. I don't enjoy playing with that stuff personally in my games because it's mostly like non-operational. So yeah, I will put that disclaimer there, but if you have suggestions, I am open to them. And then these two lots, which we will load into, are the families who are beefing. So I've built one of these houses as just like a shell. This is also an older build that I did that I think suits the world really well, so I just kind of plopped it in here. This is gonna be the Landry home, and they have a really beautiful floor plan. I was actually looking at this. It looks bad in build mode because the roofs are clipping through, of course, but I was looking at this and I was like, dang, I kind of did like a really awesome job building this house. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I still have to do some landscaping since the lot this originally was on was a little bit bigger than this lot, but I think that it works really nicely right here. and then their rivals are going to live down here, and I'm going to do like a more old styled home and less of like a big McMansion suburby type home. And like I said, part of their whole problem with each other is that these Sims are newer to the world. They have more new money and they've bought like all these places. It's kind of like a land grab goth situation. I didn't realize that that was the storyline with the land grabs and goths until I was telling my partner about this, and he was like, "Oh, like the land grabs and the goths." And I was like, "Oh, there's a storyline like that already in this game." I had literally no idea. So that's my general plan, and with all those community lots, it still leaves room for 12 families in this save, which the base game only came with 4. I don't know if you've realized this. I loaded into like a base game save and I was just baffled by the fact that there was just one family in every neighborhood and every other lot was empty. That's not what my save is gonna be like, because the trade-off is just like the world feeling empty. I really want there to be just like so many families. So yeah, I need opinions on community lots. If you like my ideas for community lots, if you think that there should be different community lots in Willow Creek, I'd be open to suggestions about that. And then also, if you like this house or if I need to change it somehow. I would like it to be a tiny house, but I don't really like the style currently. So let me know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And I also was wondering if I keep the name Willow Creek or not. I'm definitely going to write my own lore here, but a lot of people rename the world when they make a save. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I feel like I just like it being called what it is, because I will always refer to this world as Willow Creek. But I want to make my own lore for it, and I feel like it would be nice if I could also like rewrite these, which I don't know if you can do that, but I would love if you could, because like this says that there's like large mansions, and I want to write that it's like a historic place that's been redone recently, da da da, you know? So anyways, I know this video was a little bit shorter. I just kind of wanted to go over my plans. This is gonna probably be released as like a little bonus video. So normally I'm uploading like 2 times a week right now. This will probably be uploaded as a third. I mainly just want input, so please leave input below. Thanks for watching.